All right. Welcome. We got the 47 kilo national champion and the silver medalist here at the World Championships, Jessica Espinal, and her coach, Jason Tremblay. Welcome. Congratulations on your huge performance today, Jessica. Do you just want to tell us what it feels like your first time at Worlds, walking away with the silver medal, huge PR total? How does it feel?
It feels great. Like, I expected to do much worse because of so many variables combined that I have not experienced before, like the travel delays. I don't know, just even making weight, even though like I didn't have a struggle with it, like you never know how travel's gonna affect or like stress, things like that. I'm just glad I had a good first experience, and I plan to keep having more good experiences.
So, Jason, you probably know the numbers a little better.
Yeah.
Just want to brag a little bit about what Jessica did today, going 9 for 9 and putting up such a big PR on her total.
Yeah, so our first meet was in Arizona in October. Jessica and I actually, we have our coach anniversary yesterday or something coming up. Okay, it's been 1 year, and she hit 412 and a half, but with the old bench press rules. And since then, we've added probably about a foot of range of motion to her bench press. And and so at that meet, we hit 412 and a half. And then with the bench press rule changes, we had a tough time at PA Nationals. And we were told to lower it some more. So we ended up tying her total meet PR, but with like a foot extra range of motion on bench press. And we're back to about where we were, which I'm really happy about.
For sure. And Jessica, how was your nerves going out there for bench press? Just kind of knowing like all the different changes that you've made over the last months to address the new bench press rule. How are you feeling going out there on bench press?
Honestly, I think I was the most confident, or I would say second most confident going into bench, just because of how much me and Jason pounded, like going way below elbow depth and doing things to like exaggerate that so much to where I felt comfortable out there, which is great. That's all I would want. Mm-hmm.
And whenever I'm talking PR, I mean, like you said, you matched your PR total, but it feels like from where you were at PA Nats to now, you made a lot of progress. And what do you attribute all that progress to?
I attribute it to being consistent and just fighting through everything that I thought was wrong last time, and like just making these small detailed changes for this time. And like now it's, I don't know, it's really fun to just execute on the platform.
And tell us a little bit about what was going on during squat. You obviously on the day you went 9 for 9. But between, I think it was like your first and second squat, you said that you got a little emotional. What were you feeling?
Well, I think it's just the emotion of this is the biggest platform I've ever competed on. Even right now, I'm just thinking about it, I'm like tearing up, but sorry.
This is the show, and she crushed it today, so we're really proud of her.
Yeah.
I just appreciate everyone's support.
We're all so proud of you. We're all so proud of you. It obviously means a lot to you. Just seeing the emotions. What was it also like? You had Jason here with you. You had the whole U.S. coaching team, but you also had your husband Alex out there. How was that?
Well, he's there for every single thing that I do in practice. So I really put a lot of my trust in him and Jason because they both see everything that goes on. He even sees all my bad days, all the days that I don't even want to get up, but I still have to go out there and perform the best I can because nobody's going to care how I feel on the day of. So I just have to do my best every day, even if I don't feel like it.
And take us through a little bit of how your deadlift went, because you set, I think you broke the world record, junior world record. Is that correct?
No, I think, yeah, maybe we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You scare me,
You're
Jason.
right, yeah. All right, sweet, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So just how has your deadlift training been going, and how did it feel to be out there and to hear them saying like this is for a world record?
I'm gonna be honest, I zone everything out, so I don't know what they were saying. I didn't really pay attention. I just went out there and knew that I've hit it easy before in training. I've hit more than that in training, so I knew it was going to be fine.
It moved fast. Everything looked like you had a little bit extra in the tank. Do you feel like on all 3 lifts that you got more in the tank?
Yeah, I think so.
And what do you think, Jason? How's it moving?
Yeah, I mean, the third deadlift, it wasn't about the junior world record. It was about locking up second place because Canada and Heather were both looking really strong on the day. And that was the right number, so we knew it was like a safe call, and she's going to crush it. Definitely has more on deadlift. I think it was kind of like first time settling into competing at Worlds on squat, and like her third was the best squat of her life, and
Yeah.
she definitely had more there. So yeah, I think it was a really good first world championship, a great first world championship for us, and a great stepping stone for the future as well.
And just take us a little bit through more. You're saying about the strategy of it, running into the third deadlift, that you were just trying to lock in. Were you thinking about 95% of the world record total for Sheffield?
No, I confirmed with Pete about that, and I knew that like if we were going to make our deadlifts, we were going to be over that, but we probably weren't looking at a win. Tiffany was just too strong today, and credit to her. But yeah, when Canada they raised their deadlift opener, and Orly looked super strong, and Heather looked great as well. So we're just like, we need to lock this up.
All right, and last question I'll ask, unless there's any other questions over here, is just what's next? What's the next comp for you?
I have no idea. I'll think about that after like the 2 weeks I have a vacation.
Okay. So forget about next comp. What are you going to do tonight?
Eat.
What are you going to eat?
I have no idea still. I haven't even thought that far. See, my head was just so in today and making it a great day. I just haven't thought of any next steps at all.
All right, great. All right, well, we're extremely proud of you, Jessica. Thank you so much for all that you do, representing Powerlifting America on the biggest stage in the world and doing it with such grace and showing out and taking that silver medal. Congratulations again, and we'll see you and we'll support you wherever you go next.
Thank you.
And thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Situations like when I called her, she said, "Are you about to leave for Malta?" Mother, because she doesn't have, She doesn't have short-term memory, so I had to keep reminding her like what was going on.
All right, we got the queen of the 47s, Heather Connor, and her coach, Kedrick Kwan. Congratulations, Heather, on your performance today. It was an absolutely gutsy performance, taking the bronze medal today. We're extremely proud of you. Congratulations. Take us through how the day went for you.
Well, everything was feeling great leading up to this competition. Warm-ups felt great. And go out for my opener for squats. Heard a little pop, and mentally that kind of got to me because I felt like if I try this again, it's maybe potential injury. And how would that set me up for the rest of the day? So try to do some adjusting on the second attempt. Got stuck. It just wasn't going to budge at all. And third, came back. I mean, the weight felt always light on my back. It felt light squatting it. It was just the mental aspect of trying to push through something when it could cause something more serious. And at the beginning, it was a 2-to-1 no lift, but got overturned by the jury. So, I shook the referee's hands because I wanted to show that sportsmanship, like, well, it is what it is. Even though I was upset, they have a job to do, and I just have to take it as it is. But came backstage and got told that it got overturned, and again, mental just shifted a little bit.
So walking off the platform after that third squat, you thought you bombed out.
Mm-hmm.
You thought it was over.
I had accepted it. It's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me in life. It sucks, obviously, but I knew I was going to still finish the competition. I didn't want to do that while there's only 8 lifters in that flight anyways. I didn't want to speed it up anymore, so I had just accepted the outcome and told myself, all right, well, let's just do what we can going forward.
And what were you telling yourself to get through? After you heard the pop and you obviously faced that adversity on your opener, how did you get yourself right after that and overcome that adversity?
Well, it's how long is this pain staying around for? Like if I'm walking around, is the pain scale above a 6? And it wasn't, so it just depended on how my body was moving, where I could feel it more. So I just kept telling myself, if you think about it, it's going to really hurt you. So I just had to keep telling myself to let that noise get out. Because once you hear something like that as an athlete, it just replays in your head, and you're just, am I injured?
Yeah, I know that. And Kedrick, you want to just talk about how Heather was able to overcome this injury that she experienced on her opening squat and what you guys did to get through that?
Yeah, I think that the big thing is to know how much Heather can come back from. Even if you look at what happened at PA Nets, right? It wasn't the best of days, but she went out, loaded 197.5 for the third pull, right? Got it right up to the knee, right? Whatever happened at PA Nets was way worse. And
yeah,
I can literally see you in PA Nets, from the stream, holding on to your belt. At that point, I wasn't coaching Heather, I was just doing a nutrition, but I was like, yeah, she can come back from a lot. And truth be told, I'm not going to say that I know I'm not like Dave Goggins and can motivate you and all that, because at that point, I'm like, what do I say to her, right? You got folded over on the first one, you didn't come out from the hole on the second, and on the third, if you look at what is likely to happen is that she'll probably not get the third one as well, right? So I just told Heather, I was like, you squatted 132.5 reps in training, that's all I could say. I said, you've done this before. And yeah, I felt like I just had to tell her that you've done this before, you can do it. And maybe that just kind of reminded her how much she can come back from, because she said, this is not the worst thing that she has endured. So perhaps, just that sort of kickstarted a little more fire in her, I guess.
So Heather, obviously you were somewhat injured through squats, but after that third squat where you made the bar move, it moved well. At what point did you realize that even though there might be some pain or injury, that today was a day that you could load 200 kilos and you could actually pull that?
I told myself that a long time ago. It was not if I could do it, it was when was I going to do it, right? And I had told Kedrick in a message before, I got 200 in me, And if I need to, I could probably pull 205, 207 and a half. And honestly, with the way 200 moved, maybe could have been there. But, we were going to do what was going to secure third place. And I'm very, very happy that finally 200 is fell on the platform.
So how does it feel to shatter the world record, your own world record on deadlifts?
It feels great. Obviously, last year with travel, it took more out of me than I expected it to. And while everybody was telling me congratulations on a 185 world record, it was eating me alive because I'm like, I do this for reps. And, obviously I wasn't rude to them because, they were just so happy for me. But I had to find that happiness with myself before I could just, okay. So I knew, again, like, this was going to be shattered. I could have shattered it on my opener, but we're going to start playing things a little bit safer with everything considering, and it turned out to be a good plan.
So I know 407.5 matches your best total you've ever done, but I believe this is 10 kilos.
No. My best total is 410.
Oh, 410? Okay.
Yeah.
But this is 10 kilos over what you've done at Worlds prior.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on the weight class in general? When you won 2 world championships previously, you were way ahead of the pack, and you were, I believe, still in the 370s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does it feel now that there were 5 lifters today to total over 400 kilos?
That's what it's
in this
about.
class?
That's great. Like, I'm one that embraces the competition. Like, I could be back there with every competitor telling them, all right, go be great. Like, even when it came with Jess about to warm up, she was having an issue. And I gave her some guidance, and something clicked in her. I could have just ignored her the whole time, but my goal as a veteran in this sport is to continue to motivate and inspire other people in this weight class, because we are small females. We don't get that much attention as it is because we are smaller. I know bigger women are doing bigger things, but if I'm not the strongest, that's okay. That could be just the day. I do know that kilos are there. So it might not have been today, but it will be someday. And if all I can do is to continue to push people to do their absolute best, I'm already winning. I've already got that goal in my mind.
So what are your thoughts on the future of this weight class? I mean, it went from one of the classes that people were not talking so much about to one of the most hyped classes in all powerlifting.
I think it's going to just get more attention. I said it in 2019 when Sheffield was first a thing. When I first got invited to Sheffield, we were doing those interviews. And the main question that replays over and over in my head was, what do you think Sheffield is going to do for competitors? And I was like, it's going to bring people out the woods that we've never seen before. Sheffield was amazing this year. And as you can see, we have 400 competitors at Worlds, all looking for that one thing, right? And so I think that's only going to grow the sport a little bit more. And if we are showcasing how strong these 47 kilo, 103.6 pound females are, that's going to make others believe, like, I can do that too. And you're just going to see more. Worlds is going to get bigger. Sheffield is going to get more competitive. And I'm all here for it. I love seeing it. So it's fun for me. It's fun to see you grow.
So we know the 200 kilo deadlift was obviously something massive. But like you said, like, if you needed a little bit more to pull for 30, you would have. Is there a limit?
There's a limit to everything. There is, because, science comes in sometime.
How far are we going to push this limit?
I said if 210 needed to be loaded, I would have pulled 210.
Wow. Okay.
We talked a lot about your squat, and we talked a lot about your deadlift, but tell us how your bench has been going.
Bench has been going really good. Today, I think I just forgot to press it. And it made me, like, the one thing I needed to do was press it. And it wasn't there. But 75 was something that I didn't even get close to at Nationals. No. But after the way squats had went, I was like, I'm going to lower my opener. I lowered it to 70 kilos just to get in a good mental headspace. This is what I need to do, because if I missed my opener, I was probably going to run through a wall. And get another warning and get kicked out. So,
what'd you get a warning for?
Now, that man knew I was not trying to dump that bar. My body couldn't move. But he thought I was trying to dump it on a spotter, which I did explain to him that I was, that wasn't intentional if that's what he saw. But I do understand that the safety of the spotters and loaders comes first. So I just had to be like, hey man, that's okay. It's not going to happen again. And then I was just being very careful about what I said on the platform, off the platform, and just making sure, like, especially with deadlifts, like, they didn't think I was trying to just slam the bar down.
All right, so Kedrick, Heather talked a little bit there about like the potential, and you have seen all of her training. You've been, you're her programming coach as well as her nutrition coach. If you think about, she didn't have the best day today as far as missing 2 squats and missing a bench, but obviously amazing deadlift. But what do you think if she had gone 9 for 9 today? Where were you projecting the total to be?
420, somewhere between 420 to 425.
That's amazing. And Heather, what do you think about that?
Same page. I think if everything was ideal and perfect, I would have pulled for the gold. That's where that 210 probably came in.
Yeah.
Because we had like 3 different strategies. Okay, well, if this is out of reach, this is what we're going to do. Okay, well, if this is out of reach, this is what we got to do. You got to have a game plan.
So you were legitimately planning to win the gold medal here?
Oh, yeah.
You were in contention for that?
Oh, yeah.
All right. And can you speak a little bit just about your competitor, Jessica Espinal?
Yeah, I've been with her since Wednesday. I knew she was a little bit nervous. She had asked me a bunch of questions. Just coming in here, she's very readable. She wants to be confident, but you can see, she's a little bit, as she should be. Your nerves are high. This is your first world championship, and she's a very strong individual. So, just again, like giving her those little words of affirmation, like you're here for a reason, you're strong, you're capable, you know what you can do. And I even told her, I was like, man, you should have gone after that world record bench. I think that would have been there. That would have been really cool. But I'm very proud of her. My first worlds, I placed second. So it's one of those things where she should be emotional about it. She should be very proud of it. Jason should be very proud. And there's a lot of potential coming from her, I believe.
For sure. And then the last question was just, what was the first thing you do when you walked off the platform after your 3rd deadlift?
I called my mom.
What was that about?
So back in 2020, my mom was hospitalized, and she has no short-term memory, right? So if I call her, like I could call her every day, and she will ask me, hey, have you left for Malta? So it's, she was one of those people who I would speak to before my competition and after my competition, no matter where in the world, what time it was. Oh, she was watching. Just to hear her say, I'm proud of you. Sure enough, when I called her, she goes, what? Did something go wrong with your flight? So it's like, yeah, because she heard me crying and she thought like my flight was messed up. I think she kind of thought that I was back in South Africa where everything was just going wrong. And I was like, no. And I tried not to laugh at the situation, but these moments, while they seem kind of sad, it's also beautiful because I can relive them with her. I can relive her being excited, and I can relive her being happy for me. And I mean, if I called her right now, she'd be like, so are you leaving for Malta? I'm like, oh my gosh, let me tell you how the day went. And it's just, I joke about it, but, again, like I said at the very beginning of this whole interview, there are worse things that have happened to me in life than missing 2 squats. And if I can call my mom and she sounds happy and healthy, like, I don't care about anything else.
That's amazing. And sorry, one more. You mentioned before your bracelet and what you think about before you go out there for those big lifts. You want to just tell us what that is?
Yeah, so on my bracelet I have both my nephews, Elijah and Andy. And I know they were back home. My sister was texting me. They were all watching, and Elijah kind of gets scared when I scream, but they are my whole world. And I will fiddle with this thing and just like look at the names right before I'm being told the bar is loaded, and they're the last things that come through my mind before I just mentally black out. Like I envision them just sitting there cheering for me or calling me poopy head. So it I think it's something that just calms me, and that's them. I love them to death, and I'm so glad that my sister has brought them into this world to where they can enjoy it too. But honestly, if I go home without a Maltese dinosaur,
you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble.
All right, well maybe bronze medal will suffice.
Yeah. He'll think it's his until I take it away, and then there will be another issue. Kindergartner things, you know.
Yeah. All right, Heather. Well, Heather and Kedrick, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
Congratulations again, Heather,
Thank
on
you.
your gutsy performance today. And thank you for everything that you do for for
Cool.
the sport, and being
Of
a great
course.
ambassador. So
Gotta be. If you ain't good, get out.
Yep.
Get out of here.
All right, let's get out of here.
Peace.
Right. Thank you.
Oh my God, did I get to keep watch cards?
Heather, take a picture.